Hey everyone, and welcome back. So, today, continuing on our metals week, we have rose gold, which I think is gorgeous. Um, Also, a little bit of a super excited thing for me is that I've actually done a diamond that looks like a diamond to me, and that's a huge deal. Okay, so anyway, there will be tutorials on that later on. I don't know when because this is taking me forever. Anyway, back to rose gold. So, I really, really love it. And this is a very unpolished version of it. Um, a less shiny version, I guess I should say. And then we're going to do the shinier version on these smaller rings. So, first off, here's my colors. And there is a couple of variations that you can do. I have ivory for my light where the highlight is. I have light flesh. I also have dark flesh. And these are just very earthy type pink tones. And I have cold gray 4 and cold gray 5. Now, doing this the way I have done, I've used these. If you want your rose gold to be a little bit more on the orangey side, instead of the dark flesh, I would use Pompeian red. It's a little bit more on the orangey side than the pinky side, and it is a little bit darker. So just be careful if you use this one and go light with it. Okay? I actually like the more pinky version, so that's the one I'm doing. Okay, I start off with my ivory. Excuse me, I got a little dusty things up here. And I'm just going to say I want my highlight right here. This is where I think the light's kind of hitting it, making it glow. So that's where we'll put that. And then I go to my light flesh, and I kind of want to give an overall covering on this. Probably need to sharpen this pencil. But just an overall general covering. See, it's super, super light. And then I go to my dark flesh, and I start kind of putting in where it's going down and going to be in the shadows and stuff. And I want to make sure to cover it all. One of the things about this is I want the gray to have a pink base. I do not want it on the white. So make sure you cover all of it. Just like that. And then I've got my cold gray number 4. That would be the ivy, in case you, whoop, can you see that? Yeah, there you go. Ivy, it's Roman numerals. It's cold gray number 4. And then just go in and start working on the shadows. I also did this with a warm gray when I was looking at coloring different parts of it and working out the colors for this, and I really liked the cold gray better, so that's the one that I went with. And I'm mostly wanting to just get the edges, the sides of it, where the light isn't going to be hitting it nearly as strongly, giving it that more rounded look. Being very gentle with it. These artist tiles, they're like small tiles or whatever, they're very, very smooth. So depending on what surface you're coloring on, you might have more color come onto it because there's more tooth to your paper. So just be aware of that. This is very, very smooth. It makes blending a breeze. it makes putting these colors and layering awesome. With my Cold Gray 5, I'm just going in and doing, again, the edges of this. Definitely down here where there's going to be a shadow from this overlapping. And then I'm also going to bring up a bit of a shadow right on there. And that's because there's going to be like some reflections of lights and other things going on. And then I'm going to come back in with my light flesh. And go over everything and just blend it in and together and make it very cohesive. Just like that. Okay. So, as you can see, I went a little bit heavier on the shadow over here than I have done on some of these others, which I may go back and fix, I may not, just depending on how I want it to look. Now, if you're wanting a more of a shine on your rose gold, then instead of doing a bigger area, you may just want to do either a stripe of it, a little stripe of your color, or you may just want to do like a little bit of a stripe up and down, just depending on how you want it to look. So, and then you gotta go back, and if you do the cream kind of, or the ivory, not cream, it's ivory, decently heavy, when you go over it with your light flesh, you'll be able to see it pretty well. So, it's almost a relief type thing. Like a wax relief. Like you would do in school with crayons. And it'll give it this sharper look of a highlight to it. And you can do it this way, or you can do it this way. Just depending on how you want your metal to look. I'm not sure which I'm a fan of yet. I think I'm kind of liking this one, but I also kind of like this one, so I don't know. I'm at an in-between. I'm gonna go in here and bring some extra shadow. Just down in the crevices where there's not going to be a lot of light anyway. And then just take my light flesh and kind of go over everything. Alternatively, you could use a blending pencil if you wanted to, kind of give it a blend like that. But that's kind of the way that I like to do it. I'm actually really liking this one now. I mean, I like both of them, but I kind of like that one. So I think that's how I'll do the rest of them. And let's go for one more while we're at it. I think I'll just give it a little bit more of a diagonal on this one. just like that with the dark flesh. Come in with our shadow and kind of muting the sides of it. Showing where our light is not hitting. And then just really pushing that shadow just a little bit farther. And then taking our light flesh and just making everything work well together. Blend nicely and play. And there we go. So, I hope you've enjoyed this one. And if you like rose gold, let me know. It's not my all-time favorite metal, but it is a lot of fun. I think it's very, very beautiful, especially with blues and greens and that kind of gem and jewel, and that's what I like to do with it. So there you go, and I hope you use this, and I hope you like it, and I'll see you next time for another metal.